Hello, everyone. My name is Linda O'Nellafor, and welcome back to my channel, Mental Health and Wellness. And today, I'm going to share with you a story that I heard happen early this month. And this is about two twin brothers that were supposed to be going out of town to visit friends, and they end up in a totally different place, and they were deceased. Um, okay, so this is about two twins, and I do have their names, Quadir and Nizir. Okay, so their names are Quadir and Nizir, and they wanted to go to Boston, and so they had their plane tickets, and they were all ready to go to Boston. And 24 hours later, the parents or the family got a phone call saying that they found their deceased bodies at this place called Bell Mountain, Georgia. And from what I read and from what I heard about Bell Mountain, Georgia, is that that place is a racist area. And they said, back in the day, the KKK used to have meetings there. And they said that there have been other mysterious deaths in that area. Okay, now the twins never made it to Boston. And the thing about it is, the investigators are saying that this is a possible murder suicide. Now, with a murder suicide, there's always going to be a weapon next to one of the deceased persons. And so, in this case, they haven't said anything about a weapon was found next to so and so. They haven't said anything about, like, there's so many questions. Like, when they were on their way to the airport, did they drive themselves to the airport? Did they get a ride from family or friends to the airport? Did they take a Uber to the airport? How did they get to the airport? So they're holding a lot of information from the public right now. From what I read, the autopsies are all done, but they're working on the forensics right now. That's what they're doing right now. Now, these twin brothers were ambitious. They had dreams. They had goals. Um, they wanted to even open their own clothing line. And so now, they come up deceased. Now, also in this story, um, there were some hikers that actually found them. Um, and there also was a volunteer firefighter who took pictures of both of the twins' bodies, when they were shot, because they were shot. And so this volunteer firefighter took pictures, and he shared the pictures on social media. And so that's why he's arrested right now. So there's, a question with him. There's questions about, um, was there any phone data? You know how now there's all these cell phone towers, and they can look at your cell phone and tell where you were at what time. Um, have they did that yet? Because if they did, they haven't released that to the public. Okay, so I don't believe that it was a murder suicide. And the reason why I don't believe it is because they haven't said anything about a gun being found next to so and so's body. They haven't said that. So I'm not going to believe it until I hear about a gun was found. And so far, they haven't said anything about that. So I don't know how they can say that it could be a possible murder suicide. Okay. So um, I'm going to keep you posted on this story. I'm going to follow it and I'm going to keep you posted with it. But right now, I'm just advocating for the family because I know, you know, they're in a lot of pain right now. You know, they lost two babies and they don't have any answers. You know, nobody is telling them, the authorities, nobody is telling them, what happened. The only thing that they're telling them is that it's a possible murder suicide. Now, that was the same thing that they said in Gene Hackman's case. And then they did further investigation and they found out that it was something else. So I don't blame the family. I wouldn't accept the fact that it's a murder suicide. They came from a loving family. They were loving towards each other. They were close with an uncle. He said he never saw them argue. He never um, heard them fight or saw them fight. They were really close. They were loving towards one another. And so now, they're talking about that it was a murder suicide. So I have to really hear the proof before I believe that it's a murder suicide. The family doesn't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't know if they're just in a hurry to close the case because sometimes with African American people, that's what they do, and we all know that. So, but I'm going to keep you posted on this story. This is such a sad story, and there's a lot of suspicion. There's just a lot of suspicion with this story. But like I said, I'm going to keep you posted. Okay, and I will see you in my next video. All right, thanks for watching. Goodbye.